November is in the books. It is time to turn the calendar to December. And tonight, the Aztecs return from the Players Era Festival to host a very good Utah Valley team out of the WAC. As always, alongside Tammy Blackbird, my name is Steve Quisson. Here's something that hasn't been uttered in these parts in a while, Tammy. The Aztecs coming into play tonight, having lost 3 of their last 4 games.
Yeah, really tough time of the year right now. Brian Dutcher said at practice today that it's a grind and we're trying to get through it. But they ran in to Michigan in that first game in the Players Era Festival. Michigan plays that drop coverage, so they want you to beat them with twos. But you can't really do that unless you also hit those shots. You get some fast break points and second chance opportunities, and we just really didn't do enough of that. But what a bounce back game it was against Oregon in the middle of that week, and they really needed that against a really good Oregon team. Our guys got to the rim. We had a lot of good mid-range game, and it's hard to turn around day to day today, and every team will play you differently. And then Baylor, I think that's a game that really our team would like to get back, because I think that they thought they left some points on the board and just did not D them up that way. So disappointing loss to finish that Classic, but our guys have enough offense, Steve. They're just so talented. We're still trying to find our defensive culture here.
Yeah, and by the way, Utah Valley is on a heater of late, and their numbers both offensively and defensively, they mirror that of the San Diego State Aztecs. Could be a very interesting Wednesday inside Viejas Arena. The opening tip-off comes your way next. First ever meeting between the Wolverines out of the WAC and the Aztecs. Utah Valley 5-2. They just won 3 straight as part of the Cancun Challenge, and their net rating is 77. That's 1 spot ahead of UCLA. Meantime, the Aztecs are 3-3. Their net is 127 as of this afternoon, and it's not often you host a December game against a mid-major where a win over the said mid-major at home would actually be a quad 3 victory. But and hey, 2 spots lower, and this could be a quad 2 victory. This today with them at 77 could be a quad 3 victory. And the defense has just got to get better. Aztecs have allowed 93 points per game to opponents over their last 4 contests.
Yeah, I think regardless, the SDSU coaching staff would say quad 1, quad 2, quad 3, we don't care. Today it's about our guys showing up on the defensive side of things, and at practice today I've never seen a more intense shoot around. Steve, it was all defensive drills, and they were just really getting after it. But something's got to change, right? Because you get that defense and offense together. You start working that at both ends of the floor, and you're going to have yourself a really good program. Brian Dutcher has bought into this team. He knows it's going to be a journey. Doesn't know how they're going to get there, but they will.
Isaac Davis, the Utah State transfer, to jump in the center circle against Magoon Guaf. It's up, it's tipped back. The Aztecs have the opening possession. Talking about defense, we saw something I don't think I've ever seen in 25 years of doing college basketball on television. The Aztecs were out here running defensive drills 45 minutes before the national anthem with David Velasquez, the associate head coach, leading the way.
That's how serious they are about the commitment to making sure that they get the defense on track, because they're not worried about offense at all.
Here's the first shot of the game for Utah Valley University. It's out of the hands of Noah Tates, and if that kid's scoring like that, he averages 3 a game, it could be a long night. You know what, coming out here 45 minutes ahead of time and taking those defensive reps is like if you're going to a Major League Baseball game. 25 years ago, they used to take infield before the games. You don't see it unless it's like the Joe Girardi-led Marlins, right? And they're so super young. Here's Heidi. He's been on a heater lately. He's been shooting 69% over his last 12 games, and that's an empty possession for San Diego State. 2 in a row to begin the proceedings. Here's Tate. Utah Valley in all green. They were a 25-win team last year and went 15-1 to win the WAC regular season championship. LZ Harrington making his 2nd consecutive start. And he's trying to go coast to coast. Stops at the free throw line. Guy's been making a lot of shots lately.
That's why he's getting the start, right? I mean, he's going out there. He's not just scoring, but he's doing everything else that this coaching staff is asking him to do. They really like the minutes. He's been working hard, and Coach Dutcher really praising him, saying that, hey, he's a really good player. You just watch him on defense. He's really buying into this team system.
Magoon Guaf got his paws on it and is going to rip it away for a steal. Back into the hands of Harrington. Harrington shooting 90% from beyond the arc, 10 of 11 to begin his college career from 3. Here's Heidi, untucked shirt and all. And little pass inside, rolling off the screen. Aztecs save it. Bird inside Guath, and he's fouled as he went up on the second chance opportunity. And he hasn't been too shabby at the free throw line. 10 of 14 at the line to start things for the big 7-foot sophomore. Utah Valley last year, 15-1 in the WAC. They made the NIT, and coming off 25 wins, cupboard certainly wasn't bare. 6 key players returning from that squad, in addition to some key transfers and 9 newcomers.
They're coming in here having won the last 3 games, coming off of that Cancun Challenge where they played one of the most dominant performances in literally their program history. And listen, this is a team statistically you have to really be careful. First of all, they're a great passing team. They get a lot of pocket passes, a lot of shovel passes inside. They're very good inside, but 6th nationally in field goal percentage at 53%, 6th in block shots. So these guys can defend. They've got length. Yep. We're going to have to deal with that, and we're going to have to really step up and be ready. Really good on the helpers and assist, and another empty possession there, but they got a run out. They got in front of the Aztecs defense there. Harrington lobs it up for Guath, and he puts it in with a soft touch. Really nice recognition there to get to that ball to the basket to Guath, where he's just got a nice soft touch. Strong take, Jackson Holcomb. Their leading scorer, just over 15 points a game. Got it back and got the pass inside to Isaac Davis for the bucket. What do we talk about helpers? 20 assists per game for Utah Valley. That's 9th best in the NCAA coming in. Yeah, 9th in assists per game. That's just incredible. And don't forget, these guys can also defend as well. They only give up 63 points a game as Guath gets another one. Yeah. Our guys are finding him early at the rim. There's no way that this Utah Valley team can defend that height, that close to the rim with that pass. Bird with the second assist for the Aztecs here before the first media break. Tyler Hendricks drills a triple, and they've made a couple of threes to begin things. They're 37% on threes. You look at the numbers. I tweeted them out yesterday. They're very Aztec-like numbers, both offensively and defensively. This should be quite the challenge. Early lead for the Wolverines. 9 to shoot, Dixon Waters. Mid-post, turnaround is too long. Aztecs shot really well in the Oregon game, not so much against Michigan or Baylor. And we're going to get a foul on the baseline drive, and we're also going to get a substitution. Jeremiah Oden, the first to check in here for Brian Dutcher. You mentioned this Aztec team not shooting well against that Michigan team, and that Michigan team played in that drop coverage, as I mentioned in the open. They want you to beat them with twos, and mathematically they feel like they got the better edge. Now they shot 11 for 33, I believe, from 3. They just put up 33 points on us from 3-point line, so the math just doesn't work out. But might not be a bad recipe. Does anybody make two-point shots that are not at the rim in college basketball anymore? Heidi with the foul. Tate missed back iron, and Heidi with a rebound. Well, I also think San Diego State, too, we're a team that we'll step up and say, hey, we want you to beat us with twos, because we feel like I don't think there's anybody that can really beat us if we force that. But that means we really got to guard the 3, take away the 3 ball. Last time in this building, the double overtime loss to Troy, who then 2 days later went to USC and lost on a buzzer beater in 3 overtimes to the Trojans. And Bird had his pocket pick. Transition back the other way. Holcomb steps through the defense, forced it up, missed it, and we're going to get a foul. We're going to get probably a technical here for hanging on the rim. Let's see. Nope, it'll just be a turnover, and it will be Aztec basketball coming back. Early going, Utah Valley with a 1-point lead inside Viejas Arena. Despite shooting 33% at the outset, Utah Valley has a 1-point lead, 8-7. Welcome back inside Viejas Arena. Steve Quist alongside Tammy Blackburn. Thanks for making us part of your Wednesday. Aztecs shooting 50%. They have not attempted a 3 yet.
Harrington in his second consecutive start. B.J. Davis now in off the bench, probing the defense here. Handoff to Dixon Waters, got to the elbow, fired it up and missed it. And rebounded by Holcomb, who's a pretty complete player with those 15 points a game. He also gets 7 rebounds. Leaves it out here for Trevin Lenhart. And a foul will be called underneath. Exactly 5 minutes into this one. A couple of substitutions for Utah Valley. They'll get a little bigger. Hayden Welling coming in. Sherman Witherspoon, the fourth, is in. Tates, who made the opening 3, is out. So is the Utah State transfer, Isaac Davis. And our first look at Sean Newman coming in now. The senior grad transfer from Louisiana Tech. But a pretty good game against Baylor. 10 points
and
Season 6 assists, right? That's where he kind of was last year, averaging almost 8 assists at La Tech last year. Quick inbound, and that shot is missed. Sherman Witherspoon, the fourth. And the Aztecs in transition. Calling for it inside, Pharaoh Compton, who's in. Running through screens, B.J. Davis, he's got it. 10 to shoot. Compton sets the screen. Davis goes to work, changes hands, and will find himself at the free throw line. That's a good take there to get yourself to the line.
Well, he's trying to hurt him off the dribble, right? You get downhill. This is what Troy did. They really attacked. They got downhill. They drew the foul. I mean, there were, 80, 81, 82 foul shots combined in that game, but that's what Troy did. And B.J. Davis, first point guard, but he also looks for his shot, and they need him to continue to be able to do that, a scoring point guard. There's multiple point guards that we've seen in this program, a great shooter, a great assist guy, and it's just an all-around great game.
Had a career-high 21 points against Oregon. He loves playing in that Players Era event because over the last 2 years he's averaged 14 points per game, and he's really stung the Ducks a couple of times. He might like playing teams in green uniforms because his 2 best career games have come against Oregon. The 21 we talked about, the career high at the Players Era, and then he scored 18 against Oregon earlier in his career prior to this season. And you knew he was going to make those. He's made 20 of 21 at the line, leads the Mountain West Conference 95% coming in. Gives the Aztecs a lead here of a point on the drive, and Compton was able to block it, and it's going to get kicked out. It'll be Aztec basketball.
Well, you saw Holcomb there. Jackson Holcomb for Utah Valley put the ball on the floor, and that's what that guy is going to do. I mean, he can also get to the rim. You got to be prepared to guard his first step. He'll look to pick up the ball and pass as well. Again, great passing team for Utah Valley.
Yeah, 20 assists a game, a lob up, and there is Compton to finish it. Fantastic patience there. You'll see the replay.
Yeah, heck of a look by Newman Jr. Great lead to the basket. These guys are finding each other. You like what you see with Guath and being led to the basket?
Well, it's going to take a little time too, right? I mean, you often talk about chemistry as Jackson Holcomb leaves the game, giving way to Isaac Hawkins. And you figure Newman he'll probably have some big assist games when the Mountain West Conference comes around, and this team has, a dozen games under their belt. And another steal for the Aztecs. That's going to be their second of the game. Newman driving and a kick out. DeGorville into the corner. Davis lines it up, and the corner pocket 3 is good.
His shot looked really good in practice today. He was really feeling it. He came out today before the game. You see it right there, nothing but net. This place erupts. They really like what they see. We turned it around. A nice little run here, 7-0 run for the Aztecs.
Another takeaway. Might it lead to a transition 3? Let's see. Davis to Compton. Compton spins inside of a block by Hawkins. They're really good at blocks, 7.6 a game. 6th best in the NCAA. And Lenhart, who's a great assist guy, bounce pass to Hayden Welling for the bucket. Lenhart, 6.3 assists a game, 18th nationally. That was his 45th assist in 7+ games. That's 29th nationally.
Yeah, he's got 44,
Yep.
which puts him at that 29th nationally. These are great numbers for these guys from Utah Valley.
Unfortunately, not bucking any trends yet in the early going here. Almost 8 minutes in. Newman stepped into the 2, but he'll pass it up. Davis again. Oh, he's got the hot hand.
Extra pass. That's an extra pass. They give him the 3 ball there?
Yeah.
They gave him the 3 ball. All right, they gave him the 3. His toe was on the line when he finished, but they gave him the 3 ball there. That's a extra pass 3 ball there. You love the game.
BJ Davis, a game-high 8. The Aztecs have 5 assists on 6 made field goals. Here's Newman into the front court. Why not give it to Davis, huh?
Scoring in transition, Steve, which means Aztecs are not pulling the ball out of the net.
Look at that turnaround after the behind-the-back pass. Somebody is possessed. Timeout, Utah Valley. Todd Phillips, who's an excellent coach, has to call it. Admire this behind the back. Whoop, spin, bucket. Aztecs by 9. Back on the Mesa, 12-2 run for the Aztecs over the last 2:49. And Tammy, the defense has led to offense. 9-point lead now for San Diego State, their largest of the night. And I can feel the folks watching us tonight in the county just with a sigh of relief here.
In about the last 4 minutes, Utah Valley, 1 of 4. Our guys aren't pulling the ball out of the net, which means they're running in transition. They're getting points. They're defending a little bit, and that's the style of game that we want to play.
Aztecs are shooting 58% against a team that is really good, holding opponents to 36% from the floor. Another takeaway. DeGorville! Oh, for Pharaoh Compton. Wow, if this is hockey, there's 2 assists there on that. That's why Pharaoh Compton is shooting lights out this season. And by the way, 51% of his career field goals have been slam dunks. Welling, they need that, and missed back iron. And Utah Valley has grown cold.
This is the kind of emphasis the Aztec coaching staff is putting on defense. It was at practice today. It was intense. It was about an hour at shoot around, 55 minutes or so in defensive drills. And then the drills before the game here today. And then after that dunk, Brian Dutcher, the head coach on the sideline, willing his team to get back and get out and defense. Don't celebrate, play D. That's the emphasis that you're seeing here tonight.
DeGorville missed the shot. Holcomb back in there now. Tate's also back in there. Davis up top. And Davis rolled off the screen. He got hammered by DeGorville. Wow. That's going to be a foul on the young sophomore, Taj DeGorville. BJ Davis now in double figures for the 5th consecutive game. So doing it coming off the bench here. I think he came into the season thinking, all right, I'm a starter. I'm coming back in. But with all the depth, the perceived depth the Aztecs have had, he's come off the bench.
Here's that fast break. And then just the nice lob to Pharaoh Compton. And that's when Brian Dutcher said, get back, get out at the three-point line. You don't want to give these Utah Valley a three-point opportunity, especially after a made bucket.
Up to an 11-point lead, biggest of the game. 7-0 run the last 143, 14-2 run over the last 406. 1 to go and a travel. Hayden Welling, whose brother played here last year alongside him. Carter is now at Clemson. He gets called for the turnover, and that's going to be the 5th already for the Wolverines. Only 1 miscue for the Aztecs here in the first almost 10 full minutes. And Guath will come back in. He'll be joined by Tay Simmons. Jeremiah Oden is out temporarily. And Pharaoh Compton also has to come out. Our officiating crew, Kelly Pfeiffer, Michael Irving, and John Floyd. Halfway home in the first half. Aztecs by 11, their biggest lead of the game. Harrington pull up, and he'll go to the line for a couple. LZ Harrington earning his first start of his career against Baylor, adding his 6th career game. The fastest freshman has cracked the starting lineup since 2016 when Jeremy Hemsley got in there to start the season and began the whole year from wire to wire, start to finish.
When asked about that start in Las Vegas against Baylor, Elzy responded that, well, I know it's soon in my career, but I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity and the fact that the coaches trust me. He really appreciates that, but he's earned that start, and you said in his 6th game as an Aztec.
Yeah. Again, there was that story over the summer, his dad passing away. The team went up to the funeral, and Barack Obama was actually one of the featured speakers there. Barack and Elzy Harrington's dad had bonded over basketball all those years. Nobody really knows how the relationship kind of started, but it's quite the story.
Yep. How about this? He's the only true freshman in the nation who is shooting at least 90% from the bonus distance on a minimum 11 shots.
Heat check for B.J. Davis. Yeah, 10 of 11. How about that?
Yep.
Will that lead to a run out? It will. They're not going to miss Trevin Lenhart, redshirt junior, Kaysville, Utah, averages almost 13 a game.
Those are the things you can't give up.
Yeah.
That's what this coaching staff is asking of this team. It's just they just don't want to see that. You know, they love what they're seeing offensively right now. This team's really D'ing up, and they're starting to commit a little bit. We're seeing good energy, good effort, good execution, which is what this coaching staff wants these guys to bring. But again, you can't give up that run out.
Yep, again, out here working on defense with David Velasquez 45 minutes before. It's usually you're just kind of shooting around and stretching and nothing more. Holcomb with 3 to go on the shot clock misses. He doesn't miss much. And Simmons with a rebound. His numbers on the floor have kind of gone down a little bit. Or was that Harrington? Here we go underneath Simmons, and Simmons had it tied up, and it'll be a jump ball, and it's going to go to Utah Valley. Yeah, Simmons, the numbers have gone down just a little bit with Guath, but Guath coming back to play, and the emergence of J.O. Miles Bird back in. He was on the bench for a while. Aztec lead is 9. Holcomb dribbling, leaves it for Davis, and a reach-in foul there for Dixon Waters. We're starting to talk about the Aztecs. The net rankings finally came out this week. And I know it's a long way to go, but Brian Dutcher's team was 123 and have actually fallen 4 spots to, when I checked today, at 127. Meantime, this Utah Valley team is at 77, so this could be, with the formula, a quad 3 win at home in December if the Aztecs get it done. Backing it in is Holcomb, got knocked away. He gets it back. Out to Hendricks. He fires up and makes a 3.
Yeah, the kick out, right? I mean, everything below the free throw line, the defense, and at that point you see a couple of the Aztecs have their backs turned, and then you get that kick out by Utah Valley, and that's a quick catch and shoot.
And it shouldn't come as a surprise that he made that. He's shooting 57%. That's 4th nationally is Hendricks from behind the line. Behind that 3-point line. Bird, nope, tip won't go. And a foul on the rebound attempt. And that'll take us to a break. 7:32 to go, first half of play. Aztecs haven't scored a point in almost 4 minutes. They still lead it by 7. Aztecs scoring drought almost 4 minutes now. They've missed their last 5 shots. They've gone 3-48, stuck on 21 points. But D'ing up, so they still have a 7-point advantage over Utah Valley here, shooting 33%.
What I like about this is, yes, they've missed their last 5, but the reason why Simmons is at the line, second chance opportunities. You know, I mean, Simmons is a guy, true freshman, big, athletic, guy that can protect the rim, guy that can rim run. I mean, just fierce around the rim, gets up there, getting these guys a second chance opportunity after they've missed their last 5 shots. And that's just, you know, good basketball. You just got to manifest this stuff. You got to make things happen, manufacture points here.
Foul was on Isaac Davis before we went to the break. That's his first. So here's the aforementioned Simmons. We said has played no more than 13 minutes in a game since Magoon Gwath returned. And so with Latrell Davis expected to redshirt, you had all these numbers of guys, and rotations normally don't go as deep as 12. There seemed to be a couple of odd men out if you're going to go with a 10-man rotation. I've seen like Eric Musselman back in the days at Nevada play as many as 7, and that's it.
I think there's a good chance you're going to start to see this coaching staff for the Aztecs start to find their rotation, right? Yeah. I don't know how many guys it's going to be. It might be 8, might be 9, 7 to 8 guys maybe. You're going to expand minutes for the guys that are earning the minutes on the floor, and you'll minimize the minutes for the guys that just aren't producing and doing what they need them to do.
Aztec scoring drought has now eclipsed 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Simmons, good shot fake, and follows his own miss and gets second chance points there.
It's a second chance opportunity for Simmons that he's created just by being able to get to the rim. I mean, that's just effort right there.
He had made his last 4 shots since missing one, and now why not start another streak here? Aztec lead is 10, 6.5 to go here in the first half. Here's Witherspoon, the fourth. Nope, Davis is able to push off on Gwath. Davis lost the handle on it, a turnover. It's going to be the 6th of the first half. Leads to a transition 3 attempt. Simmons got the rebound. He just loves contact underneath, doesn't he? He's like looking for it. Gwath almost had a chance to clean it up, and foul shots are coming.
Simmons got 3 rebounds, and I think it could be, Steve, that all 3 of those are offensive boards. It might be.
Yeah, let's look at and if so, it would be 3 of the 5 that the Aztecs have. 4 second chance points off 5 offensive rebounds, and here's Magoon Gwath after Holcomb committed his first foul.
The thing you appreciate about a guy like Simmons, he makes good reads, the bounce off the rim, right? I mean, he kind of knows where the shot is. He knows when the shot's going up. He turns, sees the ball well, gets to the spot.
A little confusion as to who's going to sub for who, and Simmons will come out. Taj DeGorville will come back in. Simmons sits down with 4 points and 3 rebounds in 4 minutes.
That's efficient minutes. Yeah.
That'll be a pretty good plus-minus probably, although the Aztecs really haven't scored much. 1 for their last 9 in field goals. Miles Heide back in.
So you got Gwath now on the bench, so Heide slides to the 5 there.
And a little press in the backcourt. They break it up, but Davis not much of a ball handler, right? So he's got to go in and wait for the troops to gather next to him. Here's Lenhart, great assist guy, as we mentioned. Newman on him.
Really pressuring Lenhart way out by half court.
Witherspoon, Lenhart, and he gets tripped by Newman. Boy, they have a couple of really good hard fouls, whether it's DeGorville or Sean Newman Jr. here. And they got to help him up right here. And he'll be able to walk this thing off. Will the senior grad transfer from Louisiana Tech? That foul is going to be the first on Newman. Team fouls are even at 5 apiece, non-shooting fouls. So Utah Valley, who's 5-2 coming in, will have a chance to inbound it. There you
see that hard foul.
Replay, yeah.
Yep. Legs just came out from under him. It looked like Newman Jr. slipped.
Yeah, they're wiping up that part of the floor here. It was a moment ago, and so Newman's going to go out here, and the trainers will look at him. And it looks like maybe he cut the bottom of his lip when he fell. Kind of physical out there. Here's Welling. It's a Utah Valley team.
That's a push-off.
Yep. Gets an offensive foul called on him. Hayden Welling, the 6'9 senior. He started his career at Irvine for 52 games.
That's good defense right there. You get in a stance, you keep the guy in front of you, He feels the pressure. He feels like he's got to push off to create some space because it looked like he wanted to take a baseline jumper, but he needed to get himself in rhythm, so he pushes off, and you're drawing the offensive charge. That's the defense you like to see.
Bird throws it. Oh, good no-look pass there to DeGorville. Stepping into the 2 was Davis, and look at Heidi go down. Oh, my goodness. This game brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of California.
That's hard to
If
that's
not,
hard
we're
to
missing
watch.
yeah. And he went down. It looked like he went down on the back of his head and neck, but he's got his hands on his lower back here. So they called it a common foul now. I'm not sure whether they'll come over and look at it. I think they're going to look at this for potential upgrade of a flagrant 1.
Steve, I think his tailbone took the blunt force of that fall.
And that is a big human being in Heidi, 6'9", the junior. So that's what Dutch is telling the officials to look at if there was, maybe an elbow. Heidi is getting up to an applause here. David Velasquez went out, and we'll mark that down. Heidi goes out with his team enjoying their biggest lead of the night of a dozen. They're on a 6-0 run now over the last 2:05, and training staff's going to be pretty busy here, at least from now until the end of halftime. That's a couple of guys out, Heidi and Newman now. Right on cue, we were talking about depth, right? And so now it might be all hands on deck.
Remember, Guath had just come out. Heidi had just come in for Guath, and you're trying to figure out how many minutes Guath can get you as well, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have anything to do with Guath's knee. His knee is good. It's just about getting his wind and getting him a little bit of rest as he tries to just get back in game shape.
They are going to upgrade this. Wow. So the Aztecs, it's going to be a flagrant 1. Aztecs get two shots and the basketball. And Todd Phillips, who's an outstanding coach in his 3rd season, 46-37 overall, talking with the officials about it. And so Davis will go to the line to shoot the free throws. He's the only one in double figures right now with 10, and then the Aztecs will get the ball. So this could be quite the turnaround here. It could be as much as a 5-point turnaround when it's all said. They gave Isaac Davis the foul, his second, and it's upgraded to a flagrant 1. And Davis makes the first. Todd Phillips getting an explanation from one of the officials. And Davis, again, the Mountain West Conference leader from the free throw line coming in today at 95.2%. And you can add a perfect 4 for 4 in this one. He's got a dozen. The lead is 14, and the Aztecs get the basketball. Adam Jacobson, whose brother Casey is likely watching, was none too pleased with that flagrant call on Isaac Davis. DeGorville to inbound to the baseline, gets it in quickly to Bird. Bird off to DeGorville, who's had a bunch of open looks, but has taken one open look on the baseline and missed it. He's scoreless so far. Farrell Compton is in over the top to Dixon Waters. Saw the triple team out to Davis, elevates for 3 and missed it. Rebounded by Witherspoon, the 4th.
Good look, though. Good kick out, right look.
So
Guy spotting up in the corner, you wide open, give it to him.
Flagrant 1 only cost him 2 points. And Compton goes down trying to get the steal, and it's going to be Utah Valley basketball. Compton touched it last. Holcomb back in. They really could use some scoring out of Holcomb here. Aztecs have locked him down. He's scoreless. He's 0 for 3, and he's a guy that likely, when it's all said and done, will be the WAC Player of the Year, averaging over 15 points a game, 7 boards, and 2 assists. Jackson Holcomb has 3 double-doubles. Only 27 players nationally have more as we sit here on December the 3rd, and he's been shut out. That lob is going to go in. Is that going to go for a 3?
That's a...
The Aztecs want basket interference. I think Utah Valley wants a 3. They put it in as a 2. That's as odd a shot as you're going to see, and the natives become restless. DeGorville shot fake into the corner. Davis picked up by Holcomb. That's tipped. And it got tipped by Utah Valley. It'll be Aztec ball with 12 to shoot, 4:32 to go, game clock. Jeremiah Oden in for Reese Dixon Waters. And Brian Dutcher's not going to win the argument about basket interference. They were trying to go for the lob, and the thing went in and counted as a two-pointer. It was right around the three-point line, too. I guess it could have been worse. Could have cost you one additional point. Aztecs inbound, but they got to hurry here, 8 to shoot. Davis back to DeGorville. DeGorville takes a deep 3, missed back iron, rebounded by Holcomb. He'll start the transition break back the other way. Almost traveled with it. Transition 3 on the way, no good, but running down his own rebound was Lenhart. Here's Hendricks into the low post. Hawkins, and little drop step, and he beats Compton. That's a nice bucket right there.
Nifty move there, and good patience, too. You thought really Utah Valley had the 3 there. Didn't shoot the 3 ball, settled to go inside and get a high percentage bucket.
Isaac Hawkins was at the College of Southern Idaho last year. And there's Oden underneath for his first bucket of this contest.
How about that? 69 points from 1,000 coming into this game for J.O. and a steal for the Aztecs.
Takeaway, DeGorville to Bird. He could use a bucket. Missed back iron again. Davis, and they secure the offensive rebound. DeGorville. Bird, nifty dribbling. Good pass, Oden. Got some length in front of him. Oden step back jumper in the lane. He's gone. Oh, he got the friendly home bounce.
I love the hang time on that shot.
Yeah. Very NBA Michael Jordan-esque. You kind of forget that Oden went 601 days between games after a foot injury. That kept him out last year at UNC Charlotte. And that is good. A 3 by a guy who needs it in Hayden Welling, who has already turned it over 3 times in this game.
The thing about J.O. is he's shooting pretty high percentage here in the last 4 out of the 6 games. Yeah. 50% from field goal range for J.O.
Compton. DeGorville. Cross court into the corner. J.O. drives baseline, tried to make the pass to Pharaoh Compton, and it got knocked out by Compton, and that'll take us to the break. He's adamant he didn't touch it. 2:16 to go, first half, 11-point lead for the Aztecs. Well, all the extra work on the defensive end is paying off so far. Utah Valley has averaged 86 points per game through their first 7 games. Tonight, a mere 22, almost 18 minutes into this first half. Welcome back to Viejas Arena. Steve Quist, Tammy Blackburn. They were working on the defense with associate head coach David Velasquez 45 minutes before the game, running these drills that you would see in a shoot-around or on an average Monday practice.
You know, listen, it's hard, and you're trying to, this coaching staff is trying to get these guys to buy into the defense. They're trying to figure out the right schemes on what to run. I mean, that last week in the Players Eras Festival, they had back-to-back games. There's no practice in between to be able to work on different scouts, so you really can't do a whole lot. As we take a look at a couple of these highlights here in the last 18 minutes or so of this first half, BJ Davis. But it's a commitment, and it's a grind, and it's not easy. And we're still early in the season, Steve. And, you know, Brian Dutcher, he's a heck of a coach. I mean, a heck of a coach. He's a very, very good coach. He knows how to get this done. It's just going to take some time, and you need reps. These players have to execute. They, too, have to fight through this as well. They've got to grind through it. They've got to buy into it. It's all going to come together. Hard work pays off. It may not pay off immediately, but it will.
Yeah, alarming numbers that we came on the air with over the last 4 games, which covers the double overtime loss to Troy in this building, the Michigan loss, the win over Oregon, and the loss to Baylor. Aztecs defensively giving up 93 points per game on average over the last 4. I'm not sure there's been a stretch like that since the late 90s, to be quite honest with you. You'd have to go back. Now they've lost 3 of 4 for the first time since the end of last season. You might recall at the end of last season they lost 3 of 4.
You know, you give up you lose to Troy on your home floor, and you give up 89 points in regulation before the overtime, the 2 overtimes, right? Yep. Absolutely unheard of and just not acceptable, especially for this program. And if the vision of this program is to continue to be a defensive culture with defensive rebounding and being able to get tips and get out in fast break, then there's going to be changes that are going to be made. They're getting there. It's going to take some time.
You're probably wondering why it's taken so long to get back to the action. They went back and looked at that play. And what did I say? I said, you're lucky it didn't cost you 3 points. Dutch was barking at the officials, right? They went back and looked at it, and it cost them 3 points.
Yeah.
They actually changed it. It was at 3, that ball that was the alley-oop attempt, right? And it went in, and Dutch obviously wanted basket interference. He didn't get it. But when they went back and looked, found out it was launched from beyond, and so it turned out to be a 3. And it would have been a 3 by a guy shooting 57%, Hendricks. So he's a perfect 3 for 3 from beyond the arc, and BJ Davis almost got a steal there. 10 to shoot, really disrupting things up high here. And Magoon Guath
got him on the
punched
hand.
it out. Yep, and that's a foul.
And that's the thing, 7 seconds left on the shot clock. BJ Davis playing heck of great defense up front. I mean, literally putting pressure on his player right after he crosses half court. Guy can't even get the ball inbounded into the offense, and then you foul with 7 seconds.
That was foul number 1 on Guath, and there's Hendricks, 4 for 4 from beyond the arc. Again, let me reiterate that he's a 57% three-point shooter, 4th best nationally. And he's showing you why. He's got 12 points. That 57% is going to tick up. Guath take it to the rack. And got disrupted. Coming away with it, Jackson Holcomb. Spin move and a block, but a foul will be called. Well, they thought they got a clean block, but somebody got a body along the way. And they're going to get the Aztecs. And it looks like it's going to be on J.O. That's his first. That now will put Utah Valley in the bonus. Both teams have commit 17 fouls. But this is going to be a shooting foul that will be 2 shots here for Holcomb. And he made the first. And he's a pretty exciting player, 6'7", redshirt sophomore guard. They start 4 guards with good size. They have 1 big that was Isaac Davis. And again, a team last year that won 25 games. 6 returners from that team, 15-1 in the WAC. Had a really good score last year in Dominic Nelson. So fun to watch, but he was the WAC player of the year. Lenhart for 3, and it's good. And this thing has gotten interesting, folks. 33-30. What was a 14-point lead for the Aztecs at the 5:27 mark has been whittled down to 3, and it didn't take that long. It's a 10-0 run for Utah Valley in the last 97 seconds.
That 3 ball for Utah Valley is really working, and it's hurting the Aztecs. Brian Dutcher, very quick timeout on that last 3 ball by Lenhart. That was deep, but it's too many guys open from the 3-point line, and especially when you're looking at, guys that can really shoot the 3 ball. Hendricks comes to mind for Utah Valley. You mentioned he's 4 of 4, but he comes in here as one of the best in the nation. You've got to be able to have that guy's number and run that guy off the 3-point line.
You're starting to see the Utah Valley team that has emerged through the first 7 games of the year. You can throw out, they had a loss to Boise. It was a bad loss, but anyone was going to lose that game because they were first out of the gate to Boise after the Broncos lost to Hawaii Pacific. And then they had a 1-point loss to Fresno State. But this is a team that shoots 53%, sixth nationally, 37% on threes. They're above that. And it's a one-possession game inside of a minute to go in the first half from Viejas. Again, buckle up. Hope we don't have another repeat of Troy. Harrington's only missed 1 3 all season. That's his second miss. He's 10 of 12. Holcomb, and he's fouled by Davis. And they'll get a chance at a 1-and-1 here to cut into the deficit further.
Transition there on that miss, that 3-ball miss by Harrington, and Utah Valley was running. BJ Davis just could not keep his guy in front of him, picks up the foul there. You put a guy to the line with a 3-point lead going into the halftime after you've watched that lead dwindle as Dixon Waters comes in for Harrington.
This is just their third free throw attempt of the first half. Meantime, the Aztecs have been there a dozen times. Two-point game with 36.7 to go.
So that foul could lead to a potential 2 points from the one-on-one by Holcomb, who's likely to make it. And it's an Aztec 1-point lead with about 36 ticks left.
So much for the fans exhaling, right? When you had a 14-point lead. Now everybody's like, uh-oh, on the edge of their seats again. Aztec basketball will sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge, right? BJ Davis. And he has it nearly stolen and officially stolen.
Oh, they're going to get the last look.
Yep, they've got a chance to take the lead. Yep. Into the break. Shot clock is off. Utah Valley was down 14 at the 5:27 mark. And the ball knocked away, and that's going to do it for the first half. The Aztecs with a slim 1-point lead after Brian Dutcher's team led by 14 with 5:27 to go. They were up 29-15. Arena on a Wednesday night. Steve Quist, Tammy Blackburn with you. Utah Valley has pulled it within 1 thanks to a 12-0 run over the final 2:47 of the first half. The Aztecs had 2 significant scoring droughts. They ended the first half no points in 3:11, and there was a time where they went close to 5 minutes middle of that first half without scoring. And so it's a 1-point game. Buckle up. Here we go for the final 20 minutes of regulation. We are told that Miles Heide has a hip contusion. He's going to try to come back and play, but I don't see him out there right now. He was not warming up to start this second half of play. Sean Newman is back and ready to go. And one of the things that was stressed in the locker room at halftime, for what we're told, is do what you do best. Screen and roll, get to the basket, right?
Get downhill, get to the bucket. I mean, these guys were finding each other, making the pass, getting some alley-oops, really working together. I thought that they, were connecting really well, and that's what it was. Goon's going to get the start at the 5. Tay Simmons is going to get the start at the 4 here with Heide, who is still coping with that hip contusion, which we will try to get you an update if we can.
Yep.
Still no sight of him out of the locker room.
Harrington back in to lead the offense here and run the point. He was -11 in the first half on plus-minus. Dixon Waters from the elbow missed it. Aztecs shooting sub 35%. Again, it's a Utah Valley team that holds opponents to a very San Diego State Aztec type of number, 36% field goal defense. Here's Holcomb, and Bird went for the steal. Tates, and a foul as Bird went from the block behind on the baseline drive.
I thought Bird was going to have that steal. I thought his hand was in denial. Good old-fashioned Dick Bennett basketball there, and he almost had it.
That's the first on Miles Bird. Miles Bird did not score in the first half. Missed all 3 of his shots in 11 minutes. Had 1 assist and 1 turnover. This is Tates at the line. Grad student, a transfer from Loyola Marymount in the WCC. A couple of years, Utah Valley will be in the Big West. Next season, they're going to be in the Big West, coming in with California Baptist.
They'll be competitive, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They're going to give people a run for their money. I thought that was a really good move and great recognition by Tates to get to the line He knew that Bird lunged and went for the steal, didn't get it, and then he beat Bird, and then Bird fouled from behind.
And a takeaway. They're really good at steals. That's their 5th of the game. They average 10 steals a game, does Utah Valley. Trying to turn it into points here. Double team comes, and a foul before the block by Goon on Jackson Holcomb. They get that on Tay Simmons, the freshman. So now you got 2 freshmen on the floor and getting very valuable minutes here to start this second half of play. Simmons and Harrington along with Guath, Miles Bird, and Reese Dixon Waters, the 5 out on the floor. Holcomb ties this thing up at 33. It's the 4th time we've been tied in this game. We've had 3 lead changes. Again, the Aztecs are up 14 at the 5:27 mark, 29-15. They've only scored 4 points since. Now a lead for Utah Valley. Something they had in the early going. Harrington. Simmons. Davis in his face. 8 to shoot. Dixon Waters back to Simmons. Lines up the 3 and rattles it home.
Good spot up there by Simmons to get outside and get to that 3-ball spot. And just patience and see this just little pass over the top as Dixon Waters, who drew 2 defenders. Yeah. Somebody's open at that point. Good find.
I wasn't sure he had that in his arsenal. And Utah Valley certainly didn't think so. They left him kind of
wide
unguarded.
Open.
Yep. Pass underneath to Davis. He missed it. Got his own offensive rebound. No look pass to Lenhart. He missed back iron, and Simmons just says, I'll take that.
No chance for Holcomb to get around Simmons for that offensive board. Not a chance.
2-point lead for the Aztecs after the Simmons 3. Guath got his pocket picked. Here's Holcomb against Simmons. Spin move. Bird knocked it away. Diving on the floor. Harrington, but then Utah Valley gets it back. Lenhart now on the wing. And a foul on Magoon Guath. Tried to feed the post in the paint, and he went over the back on Davis. That's going to be the second on the 7-foot sophomore.
And they'll get him out of the game just again on wind, right? Just trying to get Guath in shape. I mean, he ran up and down the floor for the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This was a quick start to the first half for both of these teams that are running, and Guath just still kind of working himself back into shape after that knee surgery.
Yeah, it's his 5th game back, and there's going to be a violation, a 5-second inbound violation on the baseline, leading to a turnover for Utah Valley. That's their 10th of the game.
But you pick up that foul if you're Guath because you're tired, right?
Yeah.
That's a tired foul right there. It just doesn't have his legs. He's trying to lean. He's lunges. He's hanging on his guy.
Harrington, Dixon Waters into the paint, gets the shot off, missed front iron. He's really struggled with that shot in this game. He's 0 for 5. There's some significant offers in this one. Bird and Dixon Waters have not made a shot yet. They're a combined 0 for 8 from the floor, and DeGorville's 0 for 2. That's big, those 3 guys. And then normally at the beginning of the year, 3 of those guys were in the starting lineup. They're 0 for 10. The rest of the team has had to kind of pick it up, led by B.J. Davis and his 12 points.
Good news for the Aztecs. Miles Heide has come out, and he's actually on the bike.
Pharaoh Compton. Outstanding. Half dozen for Pharaoh Compton on 3 of 4 shooting.
Good turn move, good get to the rim. Soft touch on that finish.
Pharaoh Compton is 20 of 24 from the field so far this season. Hendricks, he is 4 for 5 on the heat check from beyond the arc. Simmons grabs another board. That's the 7th rebound for the freshman Simmons. 7 points, 7 rebounds in just 9 minutes on the floor. That is productivity, and give him 2 more. 9.7 rebounds. Maybe this freshman is going to bail out the Aztecs here on Wednesday night. 6-point advantage for San Diego State. They're on a 7-0 run. Last 2:05. And a steal by Bird. Bird ahead on the break. Lobs it up for Simmons, who can't finish at the rim, but he's going to be fouled by Jackson Holcomb, and he'll get 2 shots.
Bird knew Simmons was running from the get-go. Those two set that play up at the steal, at the denial and the steal. Simmons curled around. He didn't go too wide in his lane, gave him the look. Here it is right here. Bird already looks up. He knows Simmons is running and he's going to be ready. He's curling in. He's getting the right angle to the bucket. Good run. Didn't get the finish, but Simmons is going to the line and he'll shoot for 2. You love that.
That's the second foul on Jackson Holcomb. And so here's Simmons. 11,683 on hand to see Simmons with a career-matching 7 rebounds. I think he'll have that career-high 8 fairly soon here. Still got 16-11 to go, and he's been your best weapon right now on both ends of the floor.
Great start to the second half here by Simmons.
Jeremiah Oden will come in. Still no Miles Heide since the hip contusion late first half. Aztecs want possession of that, and they're going to get it. Tipped out by Utah Valley. Simmons out, Oden in. Simmons 10 points, 7 rebounds in 9 minutes on the floor. Utah Valley counters. They get Isaac Hawkins, their big 6'10 junior from College of Southern Idaho, out.
They could run this play for Harrington. He could step in and become a shooter. Watch the inbounder, baseline out-of-bound play.
To Bird. Compton, 1 dribble and a turnover. Yes. Oh, Dutch is beside himself.
Sloppy, lazy.
So Simmons, I mean, you're talking about equaling a career high in rebounds and also equaling a career high in points. So second career game in double figures for Tay Simmons. That's on Pharaoh Compton. That's his first. The building doesn't have a lot of energy in it tonight either. Welling a 3, down she goes. It's a 4-point game inside of 16 to go in regulation. After the end of the Troy game, at least everyone's going to stick around to the Final Horn. I'll tell you that much. Everybody learned their lesson. Compton inside. Dixon Waters can't finish at the rim. They can cut this to maybe 1 with a 3 or in half with a 2. Hendricks, 57% three-point shooter, has missed his last 2 in this game after hitting his first 4. Compton kept it alive. Harrington, the freshman out of St. John Bosco. Compton, Bird. Compton sets the screen. Bird shoots off of it, missed it. Compton will get it back and blows the dunk. He doesn't blow too many of them. More than half his career field goals are dunks. Just not that time, and that one passed out of bounds. Holcomb threw it out of bounds for what will be a dozen turnovers for Utah Valley. Still 14:53 to go in regulation. Aztecs by 4. Welcome back inside Viejas Arena. Steve Quist, Tammy Blackburn. Thanks for making us part of your Wednesday night. San Diego State with a 4-point advantage. Kind of a sluggish start to the second half for both squads. Aztecs have outscored Utah Valley 8-5 in the first 5:07. And we're still looking. Miles Heide looks like he's got a little back brace on down there. He's standing up, the hip contusion. They want to get him ready to play. We'll see. You pointed out he was on the bike. Kind of lifted up that jersey right to the left of the shot clock if you're watching. They're going to have a foul. Well, this is good. B.J. Davis coming back in for his first action of the second half. What a first half he had. 12 points in 13 minutes on the floor. Foul was on Witherspoon, the fourth. That's his second. And here's Davis. Couldn't miss in that opening half. Handoff to Newman Jr. into
Nice.
Pharaoh Compton.
Oh.
That's the screen and roll, but he's missed back-to-back dunks. Linhart, Holcomb, and should have been a travel, but DeGorville made contact before the pivot foot came back down. So close to being the 13th turnover for Utah Valley. Meantime, the Aztecs, only 7 turnovers, only 4 in the first half of play. That's team foul number 5. DeGorville second.
There you go, Pharaoh. He needed something.
Yep.
He needed something after that. He just needs a little confidence.
Second block shot. Here's Hendricks. Free throw line. Missed it. Witherspoon got it back. And last touch by Pharaoh Compton.
The thing about Pharaoh and missing those 2 dunks, you just gotta right that ship right now. And you got to put it behind you. No more misses on those dunks. If he's going to dunk it, dunk it. If he's not, use the glass. Again,
51% of his career field goals are dunks, and he's missed his last 2. And are we going to have an offensive foul called here on Utah Valley, or is it going against the Aztecs? I had a bunch of coaches in my way, so. And a blocking foul. Okay. At first, the Aztecs want a challenge, at least the players do. And now everybody's seeing the replay within the arena right now. And that's why you hear the boos. And there is going to be a challenge here at official review for the Aztecs. Again, coaches' appeals and challengeable plays this year, Tammy. Out of bounds violation, backcourt violation, whether free throws should be awarded when a foul is committed in close proximity to change in possession, and whether a foul was assessed to the correct player. They'll look at it. 4-point lead for the Aztecs.
It's Bedlam tonight here in Boise.
The crowd is pumping at the pit. This place is electric.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
This is San Diego State University, where every possibility shines with Southern California life. And the ideas that drive you will come to light. You'll join a vibrant community cheering for the spirit of play, with world-class academic programs that help you meet the future where it's going, in a setting that will spark your imagination. Dare to discover the unknown.
Old Trapper Beefs. Last bag.
You know there's plenty for both of you.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Well, here's what they're looking at. The challenge, blocking foul on DeGorville. Or was it a offensive foul on Linhart?
Yeah, they got to reverse this call. You can see that DeGorville, he gets into that defensive possession, steps over, gets
and he's outside the arc too, yeah.
And that's the most important thing. He gets there. No question that the officials will see the same thing that we're seeing.
The Aztecs will lose a timeout. You have to have a timeout to challenge. So whether they win it or not, and if they do win the challenge, they'll have at least one more for the remainder of the game with 14:06 to go. 41-37. Again, the coaches' appeals and challengeable plays, an out-of-bounds violation, which that was not, a backcourt violation, no. Whether free throws should be awarded when a foul is committed in close proximity to a change in possession. So he's outside. He had his feet set. Yeah, I initially thought this is going to be a better look here. Outside of the restricted arc. Set. Lenhart knocks him over. If this is reversed, it'll be Aztec basketball. And they'll have a 4-point advantage. The officiating crew has looked at it a long time.
I was just going to say, it's interesting. It has been a long review, and that, to me, says something different than what the obvious.
Yeah. Adam Jacobson wants me to get him going, right? He says, well, let's go. All right, Adam, the brother of Casey Jacobson. Now they're trying to figure out one more, because there's 2 sets of cameras in there. There's the in-house camera, then there's our broadcast cameras too, and I think they want another look.
They're calling for a different camera.
Yeah.
They're calling for a camera that's underneath the basket for a different angle.
Hey, if Richard Stern, if there's one guy that can get this all straightened out, it's Richard Stern
right there in the white long sleeve with the quarter zip. That's Richard Stern.
Great notes, great SID.
One of the best to do it.
Yep. And so what I think he came over to call to our producers to our right, that it looks like the television replay would clearly show, okay, that is a offensive foul and a charge, but the officials, I don't think, have the opportunity to look at that camera. They have to look at the in-house, the AHOS replays. So there, DeGorville set. And again, normally the officials will come over and will tell us exactly what they're looking at and what the result is.
You know, the only thing I'm seeing is, could it be his left heel?
Let me see if Michael. I'll try and get Michael's attention again. And I don't think this is. I think this might go. It might be upheld. They're going to reverse it. Okay. All right. So the coach's challenge is successful. It'll be Aztec ball, and I'd like to think our broadcast helped turn that around. Maybe they did find the angle. What do you think?
The only thing I can think of was that for
if they win by 2, I'm taking credit.
His left heel, maybe they were looking at that because it looked awfully close.
That means they're going to book me on the KOSI morning show tomorrow to talk about it if it's a one-possession game. All right, so that was huge. Somehow Richard Stern found the replay. We told you he's one of the best SIDs in the game, if not the best. Got to fight for your team, right?
So you still have a challenge, and you don't lose your timeout.
Backdoor cut, and DeGorville, and he got bailed out there because that thing was going out of bounds off of him. They're going to say it's last touch by Utah Valley. Again, the fourth thing you could challenge whether a foul was assessed to the correct player, and that must have been what the challenge was. My interpretation of that is what, would have been
the correct player. Did they get the guy with the wrong number?
Yeah, the wrong number, but I don't know. We'll let Judge Judy figure it out. Weekdays at 4 on, I don't know. J.O. fighting through the defense. What a move and a great left hand.
Yeah, good J.O. We talked about him coming into this game. 69 points away from 1,000 for his career. A 50% field goal shooter in 4 of the last 6 games this season.
Yeah, he hasn't missed one yet.
Season high 7 rebounds versus Baylor last week. Good stats for J.O. Great bench player.
Perfect 3 for 3 in this one. Welling missed the 3. Davis got sealed off. Davis out to DeGorville. He needs one to go down, and there it is. Right on cue. He'd missed his first 2 shots. Hits a big 3 there to stretch the lead out to 9. Lenhart knifing through the defense. Blocked out of bounds by Oden.
More bench points for San Diego State. DeGorville adding to that with that 3-point ball. About 37 points for the bench of San Diego State. You talk about the rotation, and people are wondering what this rotation might be in the future of San Diego State and the Aztecs. Will it go from 11 players or so down to 8? Don't really know yet. So many guys with a lot of talent. You see the release and the really sweet shot of DeGorville from long, deep range 3. Guys got range.
Yeah, without Miles Heide with the hip contusion right before the end of the first half, and is standing up as if he's not going to be coming back into this contest. It's hard for me to tell from the naked eye here if he's still got the brace on that he put on. Inbound quickly to Holcomb. Holcomb drives on Compton and somehow scored it around Pharaoh Compton. Holcomb's got 7.
Yeah, that guy's solid. He's just strong and fierce around the bucket. Knows how to finish. Love his real finish touch around the rim.
That's Holcomb's first made field goal of the game. Drive by Davis, and he's fouled. A couple of shots coming here at the 12:38 mark. Aztecs are 10 of 14, 71% from the line here in this basketball game. Trying to get to 4-3. Losers of 3 of their last 4 for the second consecutive year. The end of last year, they had a late loss to UNLV with 2 games left in the regular season, and then lost, of course, in the Mountain West Conference Championship game, and then in the first 4 to North Carolina. 2 shots coming for Davis, who had 12 first-half points, nothing since. And BJ averaging 11 points per game, and again, he's only missed at the line once this year's. Perfect 5 for 5 in this game, which now puts him 25 of 26 at the line to open up the 25-26 season, and he sticks them both. Aztecs with a 9-point lead, a little pressure here. Utah Valley's going to break it. Utah Valley top 10 in the NCAA starting this December 3rd in 4 statistical categories. Giving the Aztecs all they can handle. Lenhard.
God.
Good take to the bucket. The up and under.
Turn the corner, one-hander.
That kid can play. He's got 7. Hendricks, Tyler Hendricks with a dozen. Here's Davis. Davis with a deep 2. That's his first points of the second half. He's the guy that can start things on offense and get you started.
Oh, yeah, he's averaging that team-leading 14.3 points per game, as you mentioned earlier.
And there's going to be a foul. Holcomb got fouled. 11:47 to go in regulation. Aztecs with a 9-point lead, trying to hang on at home tonight here in early December. Boy, it has been 14 years since Kawhi Leonard led the Aztecs to that 34-3 season. And their first Sweet 16, they lost to eventual national champion UConn up there at the Honda Center. And for that 1 year, you had the NBA Finals MVP in Kawhi and the World Series MVP in Steven Strasburg. Huh? That's something to beat your chest about.
Yep, Steven Strasburg back here in San Diego, now part of the baseball program again.
That's right.
Lucky to have his leadership and his talent and wisdom with Aztec baseball, which is gaining a lot of traction and excitement.
This is Holcomb at the line coming out of the break. This will be free throw number 10 for Utah Valley. And they are 7 of 10. Holcomb has done much of his damage at the line. He's been there 8 times. He's 7 of 8. He's 1.1 rebound away from a double-double. We told you he's a guy in the discussion for WAC Player of the Year when it's all said and done. Guath back in. Hand off to Davis. They trap him up high, but release off that. DeGorville looking for the screen by Guath. DeGorville, and he's bumped, and a foul will be called. It looks like it's on Noah Tates, and it will be on 7 Green. Utah Valley came in 90th this week in Ken Palm. We were starting to talk about the net rankings, which were released for the first time, and Utah Valley at 77. So if the Aztecs win this thing, and be a quad 3 victory at home in early December. Takeaway, Holcomb. Turnover the 8th for the Aztecs.
So these Wolverines are dangerous. They are just staying close enough to the Aztecs. Not going away.
Here's Davis inside. He missed it. Kid that played last year at Utah State. One of their 9 newcomers.
Missed that bunny. Would love to get that one back.
They're shooting 25% in the second half as Utah Valley.
I tell you what, though, they're holding San Diego State to 50%. This is a Utah Valley team that ranks 16th in the nation in scoring defense. They only give up 63 points a game.
Yep. It's also Utah Valley, last time they played in that Cancun Challenge against Samford, now it's Samford, not Stanford, held them to 20% shooting last week in Cancun. Somebody up late night? Here's Simmons, and that's a career high in points with 11. Now he's 1 rebound away from a career high in rebounds, and he's only been on the floor for 10 minutes. We talked about his numbers as far as minutes played have shrunk significantly since the return of Magoon Guaf. And now factoring into the equation is Miles Heide down with a hip contusion and not yet returning here in the second half for the first 9 minutes. Here's Holcomb, leaves it for Davis, and now a little gun shy right after missing that chippy. Linhart. Holcomb holds it up high to the low post, and Davis lost the handle, turns it over. Newman in transition with a blow-by, lob up for Simmons.
Good
out
recovery.
Last touched by the Aztecs, Utah Valley ball.
Yeah, good recovery by Hendricks to get down there and stop that bucket, potential bucket for San Diego State.
You see Dutch fly out of his chair right there,
Yep.
and with a right hand like one of those windmills when you're driving out to El Centro. Just said, let's go, get back on defense. Let's not mess around. Holcomb, the 3, well off. Almost halfway home second half to Gorville inside. Simmons lets 2 defenders fly by and count it. Oh, you continue with your career night, young man. Loves the contact is what we've been told.
I love Tay Simmons around the rim. His game around the rim is about as sharp as any true freshman in the nation. I mean, this guy is fierce. He's a beast. Look at him celebrate. A little celly after the bucket. Potential and 1 coming here for Tay Simmons. SDU has made more free throws than UVU has attempted.
Yeah. That's a good number. We talked a little bit about that. Troy came in like that. And then, as you had mentioned, there was like 85 free throws in the game, right? Or something like that when it was all said and done. Into Davis. Lead is 12. Halfway home now in this second half.
Good denial
Bird in the passing
Bird.
lane, yep.
Yep. That's, Steve, I'm going to say Dick Bennett basketball, and you and I understand what Dick Bennett basketball
Makes
is.
me cringe.
I don't think any of these guys on the floor know what Dick Bennett basketball is.
Well, if you're an Arizona basketball fan, you know.
You have to know. Get in that passing lane and get your thumb down and get denial. Bird knows what it is.
Holcomb, good crossover, and takes it hard to the rack and score it.
He's fearless. This Holcomb kid, he is fearless.
Just his second made field goal. He's now 1 rebound away from a double-double. And what did we say? We established this early. Comes in with 3 double-doubles. There's only 27 players nationally who have more than 3 double-doubles as we sit here on December the 3rd. And he's kept his team into it. Newman out. Harrington in.
Holcomb, who played well in the Cancun Challenge, was a member of that all-tournament team. Remember, this Utah Valley team coming in here having won the last 3, playing one of the most dominant performances in the Cancun Challenge, just playing really well. We've given you a number of stats against their game against Samford.
Samford Bulldogs, I believe. Simmons, 15 points in this one, a career high. He had scored a combined 11 points in his last 5 games, so this is quite the coming out party. Holcomb a spin, another solid take.
That's his move. He likes the spin move. I mean, you got to scout him. You know he's going to plant that left foot or that right foot, and he's going to spin a little reverse pivot.
Got 13 with 9 rebounds. Also got 4 assists. 26 minutes. Harrington, down she goes. More points in the paint. 24 points Almost half the Aztec points have come in the paint.
Hard to believe that that's only the 4th point for Harrington though in this game.
Make it his 2nd consecutive start. Took him his 6th career game to make his first start. And Lenhart, boy, that was quite the challenge there to go and try and take that in, and he kind of got bailed out. Foul's going to be on the Aztecs. It's going to be the first on LZ Harrington. Team foul number 9, so one more, and Utah Valley will be in the double bonus for the final 8 or 9 minutes of this one. And here's Lenhart, redshirt junior, Kaysville, Utah. 29th nationally in assist with 44 through 7 games. And we look down, the Aztecs have held him to just 3. That is half of what his output is on a nightly basis. 8-point game with 9:06 to go. Guaf. Goon off the window too hard. Simmons tried to get the offensive rebound. Outlet comes to Lenhart. Behind the back dribble to a cutting Welling, who tried to poster Magoon Guaf. And it goes out. It'll be Aztec basketball.
A little hard to do to try to poster Magoon Guaf at 7 feet. But, I mean, you got to applaud the effort.
If he got it, you would have seen that Monday at Spencer's for the holiday season. Would have been right next to the Dr. J and the Heather Locklear poster. 8:42 to go. 57-49. Aztecs with the ball in the lead. They were up as many as 14, and then late first half, Utah Valley roared back to take a lead. Aztecs have outscored Utah Valley 24-17 in the second half. Welling with the rebound. Aztecs letting them hang around, feeling a little like the Troy game, right? Where you maybe take the foot off the accelerator.
Well, 8 points is certainly not a comfortable lead. Make it 6 points.
Lenhart right to Holcomb for the slam. And again, Lenhart is so good with helpers. That's his 4th. He averages just over 6 a game, which is 18th nationally.
Interior passing for Utah Valley will help them this season. They are very good interior passes, and that was a display right there. Little shovel pass.
And Lenhart's going to get a steal here. Bird defending, finger roll in, 57-53.
You got to call timeout if you're Brian Dutcher.
Aztecs need a timeout, and they're going to get it right here. And it'll be a full timeout because it's within the media break window. Don't go anywhere. We all know what happened at home a couple of weeks ago. San Diego State with a 4-point lead over Utah Valley here at Viejas Arena. It's getting a little hot inside Viejas Arena. 6-0 run for Utah Valley. Aztec lead has been shaved down to 4. Both teams shooting it well of late. Aztecs have made 5 of their last 7 field goals. Meantime, the Wolverines have made 4 of their last 5. Here's the silver lining in all of this. On a night when Bird is not scoring and the starters are not scoring, 46 of the 57 points for San Diego State have come from the bench in this one.
Yeah, the bench has been solid. We mentioned it earlier. I think I mentioned it at about 37 points. That really, this is a great performance by the bench. We had DeGorville, who made a long 3 and picked up a few there.
Yeah, B.J. Davis has 16. Simmons has a career-high 15. Bird missed it. Compton offensive rebound, steps into it, and knocks the lay-in in off the window. That's big.
Didn't have the dunk. Probably a little gun-shy on the dunk anyway. Said to use the glass last time. Used the glass this time. Want to make sure you want to be a sure thing to get that deuce.
He has 8, does Pharaoh Compton. The lead is 6 at the 7-minute mark. Utah Valley, who averages 86 points a game, is not gun-shy. Tate's opened the game with a 3. He's going to miss here. Dixon Waters starting to break back the other way with those blue shoes. Going to take the 3 himself and make it. That's called taking matters into your own hands. That's his first made shot in 7 attempts. And he's a starter who was held scoreless until inside of 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, season high 22 points against Oregon for Dixon Waters. We know this guy can really drain him. Look at that soft touch right there.
Inside, that ball knocked away from Welling. He wanted a foul. Harrington, Tates knocked it away. And Bird had a straight line drive if Welling didn't grab him. And that's going to be a 1-and-1 coming here because it's team foul number 9 for Utah Valley.
Thing about Dixon Waters and DeGorville that you appreciate first of all, their shots look exactly the same. Really pretty backspin on that. But they can step way beyond the three-point line. They can really stretch you out and get a long three if you need one.
Utah Valley wants to spend a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. 62-53. Welling with that foul, so the Aztecs will have it. And this is a good timeout here because you can set up your defense. As you know, the Aztecs are going to be inbounding here on the baseline with 6:17 to go.
Here's what you get. You get the three from Dixon Waters. Now we're San Diego State at the free throw line. You got a chance to hit a couple. You got a 9-point lead, just over 6 minutes left. Can these Aztecs spark a run, Steve Quiss?
Bench points are now up to 48. A 48-10 advantage for the Aztecs in bench scoring. I don't know if I've ever seen a number that high, to be honest with you. I mean, maybe on like senior day, right? When you're starting 5 guys.
Yeah, that's true.
But other than that, I can't imagine a scenario where you'd see it like this. Here's Miles Bird, who is scoreless tonight. When are you going to see Miles Bird scoreless with 6:17 to go in a game? Just get it out of your system, right? And he remains scoreless. This is where you just can't let the body language get down. You got to be a leader in this situation here. You're pressing, you're 0 for 5 in 20 minutes. And Bird's going to sit down, and Davis is going to come in to try and kickstart the offense here. And I don't blame Dutch for making this move.
Yeah, to be fair, Bird hasn't all been feeling that well as well. He's just a little bit of a bug kind of maybe going through.
Right, the last time there was a home game, you had Reese Dixon Waters coming off 103 fever with the flu, and he had played more than 40 minutes. Good passing inside. Yeah, and just pass the note that Bird has the flu, as you mentioned. So
didn't even practice yesterday.
That's from Dr. Richard Stern.
Yeah,
so.
That's right.
Here's Compton. So a lot of, again, get it out of the way. Harrington to a streaking Compton, and Compton somehow found the handle and scored it. He's come up big late. That gives the Aztecs an even 50 bench points.
But here's the thing. He's finding the glass pretty quick, and he looks pretty good with that.
There's a little handoff. Lenhart, fall-away jumper right of the lane, no good, and Davis secures the rebound. Coming up on 5 to go, the Aztec lead is 9. Davis off the bench with 16 on 4 of 8 shooting. And Odin, and a blocking foul is going to be called. Not getting to the spot in time would be Welling. And I think back to the Troy game, too, when you had Dixon Waters out there for 40-plus minutes. And you would think, okay, how about getting Elsie Harrington in there too? But I went back and watched the tape. He had committed 6 turnovers, freshman. So it's like, I'm not sure if you'd go out there and send him out there. Second double-digit scoring game for Pharaoh Compton this season, the 5th of his career for the 6'7" sophomore forward from Chicago, Illinois. Odin makes the second. The lead is 10. The Aztecs 71% from the free throw line. Here's Hendricks, the handoff, the 3, and he banked it in. Again, 57% shooter from beyond 3. He's got 15 on 5 made threes, but again, he made his first 4 threes. And the reverse, Harrington, no. Odin on the offensive glass, he kicked it out. And it's going to Utah Valley. And Oden is like, hey, let's use a challenge. We got one left. Newman's coming in. I don't know if Dutch is going to try the challenge. They're looking back. Someone has an iPad back there that'll look at it real quickly. And that's why Utah Valley's like, let's go, let's inbound this thing. And now somebody with an iPad back there says to Dutch, let's challenge. So that will be their final challenge here. They'll have to use a timeout. And we'll see if J.O. is right, that got punched out of there. Again, one of the 4 things you can challenge. Aztecs have already won a challenge here tonight on a block charge call. And hopefully this one, they have all the angles and won't take as long as the last one did. But it comes with 4:41 to go. And you saw Dutch's response. I'm not sure he wanted to use that, but 2 of his guys were wiggling the fingers. I think J.O. was thinking that Linhart had touched it last and knocked it out. Now, will you have conclusive enough evidence, video evidence, to overturn this
that?
call?
And that's going to be the question.
Yeah. And that's why maybe Dutch, when he signaled for the challenge, said take it, and then thought, well, maybe we don't have the right angles. So we'll see. They're rolling the dice. The call is Utah Valley basketball. And if they get it, they'll be down 7 with 4:41 to go. Look at it again. I'm not seeing anything that tells me. There's Oden's got it. And then I can't see in front of him. Could you see anything there?
So the first replay we saw was from the different angle where you could see the front of the jersey of Oden, and it looked like it was punched out by Utah Valley.
What you're seeing here, this
right
is going to be the best.
This is the one you're looking at. Watch
There's
this
Oden,
right here.
Puts it on the floor.
So does Linhart reach his arm in? Yes, he does. His arm is fully in front of Oden's jersey. Does he tap it out?
I think that's the best angle. We slow it down more. Okay, Oden secures the board. Now he loses the handle, and then there he touches it.
Okay,
he gets it back.
Right here. Ooh.
Wow. They win the challenge. It's successful, and the Aztecs will get the basketball. They have won both challenges to get possession, so that's 2 extra possessions. It's like having a crafty point guard out there getting a couple of extra steals a game. However, you're out of challenges now for the final 4:41, and it's a 7-point game. So it was touched by Utah Valley. What another wild midweek game inside Viejas Arena. We got another one to go next week with Lamar in town. You and I will be here. Do you know where Lamar is from?
It's in Texas.
Yes. Do you know what city? I've been there. Beaumont, Texas, off the 10.
Beaumont, Texas. I know it is East Texas. It's almost in Louisiana.
Padres used to have an A-ball team there in the Texas. I think it was the Beaumont Padres, maybe? I'll have to look. There's an inbound quickly and a whistle. And we get a foul. I think Todd Phillips was instructing his team, look, don't let him hold that guy because he's going to break right in and get an easy bucket. Let the Aztecs try and earn it here at the line. Davis with a 5th foul, and Isaac Davis, the Utah State transfer, averages 10 points a game, fouls out with a mere 2 points. So the Aztecs win that battle. Welling now has to come in.
Tough night for Davis, 1 of 5 as he has to take a seat. 0 of 1 from 3 and only 3 rebounds.
Todd Phillips just asked his sideline, hey, what's the foul discrepancy? And now he sees that it's plus 11 in favor of the Aztecs, so he's going to try and wear out Michael Irving in front of us to get a call maybe on the other end. It's good coaching.
What's fascinating to me is he picks up 5 fouls in 16 minutes on the floor. Yeah. That's almost one foul every 3 minutes. That's a tough night for you.
3 bench guys for the Aztecs are the only 3 in double figures. 16 for Davis, career high 15 for Simmons, 12 now for Compton Farrow. They have 53 bench points, 53 of their 67. Again, Miles Bird, the flu. Heidi out with the hip contusion, hasn't returned for the second half. Holcomb going to work here, gets a little body bump, got position on DeGorville, but DeGorville in the end wins the battle by getting the rebound. Gives it up to Newman, and they can slow things up. They don't have to shoot this thing until under 4 minutes to play if they so choose. Newman, cross court. Dixon Waters recoups. He shoots it with 4:01 to go. Missed it, back iron. And a foul will be called, or no? Out of bounds. Or are they going to give a foul? I think that's going to be a foul on Farrah Compton. And it will. It'll be the 10th. We'll have 2 shots coming. It is a foul. 2 shots coming for Utah Valley when we return. Well, both teams are in the double bonus. The Aztecs have a 9-point advantage. However, Utah Valley, coming out of the timeout, is going to get a chance to cut into that lead with the clock stopped after the foul on Compton is going to award 2 fouls on the other end to Welling because of the double bonus. So here's Hayden Welling. We were talking about Lamar being in Beaumont. They were the Beaumont Golden Gators, AA affiliate of the Padres, 83-86. Thanks to our guy, the coach John Quintero, my esteemed colleague. And got to get him back on the radio, the coach. I knew he'd hold me accountable for that.
John Quintero, so longtime friend.
Aztec legend Tony Gwynn did not play there. That was a big miss. It's an 8-point lead. Little pressure in the backcourt. Newman, almost a 10-second violation, and they got him for it at the last second. Dutch saying no way. Well, I mean, the shot clock's right there at 20. Right, so it would have gone down from 30 to 20. So that's an Aztec turnover. That's their 11th. Storing this one, bench points 53 of the 67. Scored by the bench. On a night when Bird is under the weather. Here's a 3 to make it interesting. Hayden Welling, 67-62. Here we go again. And a little press. Trying to get back-to-back 10-second violations. They're going to get a steal. Taking away Lenhart, and he lays it in. Aztecs need a timeout. It's a 1-possession game with 3:23 to go. 67-64.
Well, the body language just doesn't look great for the San Diego State Aztecs as these guys slowly walking over to the huddle right now.
Yeah, they had probably worked on that press break, too, a couple of times, right? That's why Dutch went over to Dixon Waters there and says, hey, look, you got to be in this spot to give our point guard an opportunity. So now a dozen turnovers for the Aztecs have led to 18 of the 64 points for Utah Valley.
Got to handle the pressure. Utah Valley, a very handsy team, very active. Quick hands, quick movements. Got to be sharp with the ball.
They now have 9 steals, 1 off their average. Again, a 25-win team last year. Net 77. They'll try the pressure again after the 30-second timeout. Aztecs will have 1 timeout left. Possession arrow over to Utah Valley. Davis to Goreville. Newman thought about it. 12 to shoot. And Dixon Waters with a finger roll as he attacks and scores a badly needed bucket right there for the Aztecs.
Nice curl to the ball. Good pass. Receives it and just goes all the way to the lane, gets to the bucket with the finger roll.
Just his second made field goal of the game. He's got 5. Lead is back up to 5. Lenhart now with 2:41 to go. Holcomb. And Holcomb had to take it away. And then stolen right back by the Aztecs. Holcomb terminates his dribble, needs help, and gets it back to Lenhart. Welling, 3 straight away is no good. Offensive rebound, Lenhart again on the tie-up. What did we tell you? It's going to go to Utah Valley. And so they get to keep possession here. Now the possession arrow switches over to the Aztecs. Utah Valley has 2 timeouts left. The Aztecs have 1 left, and both teams are in the double bonus here in crunch time. So 2 shots on both fouls. Inbound to Welling. Compton just knocked it away. No call, and Davis comes away with a steal.
Smart play by Compton to read with his back to the baseline to just get his hands up and disrupt that pass. Couldn't see it, but knew that Welling was going up for it, saw the body language of Welling and just said, I got to get in here and get my hands on it. He does.
Hard contact. They probably got away with one. Turning the corner is Newman. Oh, what a great reverse. He does not score much, but comes up with his biggest bucket of the year. That's his first points of the game. The average is just 2.8 points per game. 7-point lead after that bucket. Timeout, referees timeout. The officials calling it. Michael Irvin saying, that's my timeout. For what I did not see. I beg your pardon. But it'll be Utah Valley basketball across from us in the backcourt here. 7-point lead for the Aztecs with 1:41 to go. I noticed not as many folks leaving early as they did during the Troy game. Dutch intently looking on. This would be a quad 3 victory at home against a team just outside of the quad 2 range. There's a formula of road wins, home wins, neutral court wins. You can Google it. Here's Holcomb driving with a left hand. Oh, what a tough take over all that length. Holcomb's got 15 and 10, another double-double, his 4th of the season. They're harassing Davis in a 5-point game here. Plenty of time to shoot. Davis drives into traffic. Compton. DeGorville to Newman. Newman. Dixon Waters, under a minute to go. Waters, and Waters through the trees with a big bucket. 73-66. Man, his last 2 minutes on the floor have been pretty spectacular.
Strong body coming through the lane here, and he just uses his strength to get that ball up and over these two guys. The two defenders, uses the glass.
They're going to look at a timing review now for the officials. See if they need to put more time on the clock. How about this for Dixon Waters? He started the night 1 for 8, and he's made his last 2 shots to give him 7, and none bigger. Bench points 55 tonight for San Diego State. You can send a Harry and David gift basket to the likes of B.J. Davis, Tay Simmons, and Pharaoh Compton if the Aztecs come away with a victory. They're going to put 1.2 seconds back on the clock, 53.7. Utah Valley 1 timeout left. Check it. Utah Valley 2 timeouts left. Aztecs 1, both teams in the double bonus. And again, should we have a tie up, the Aztecs will take possession of the basketball. See if the Aztecs administer a little press here to make it difficult on Utah Valley to get in an offensive set. It's certainly looking like they're going to do it. Holcomb, the double-double. He's also got 5 assists. They've got 4 in double figures. Now they release on the press. Under 50 seconds to go. Lenhart to a cutting Holcomb.
San Diego State
that's
ball.
going to be Aztec basketball.
Yep. Good tip. Came off of Utah Valley on that secondary. First tip by, I think it was DeGorville, but then it went off Utah Valley after that.
That's a big turnover. Their 17th of the night. Aztecs trying to exit the building 4 and 3. And they're going to have to spend a timeout, and they'll have none left. So that'll be their last timeout. It comes with 42.7 to go. Don't go anywhere yet.
It's always what they tell you at the end of the game when things are close. First thing you got, everybody talks about what play they run in. Well, first of all, you got to inbound the ball.
Yeah, easier said than done.
Not that easy, especially with the pressure that we have seen.
Yeah. Well, the bench has done a great job trying to bail out the likes of Bird, who hasn't been on the floor here at the end because of battling flu-like symptoms. You had Heidi go out with a hip contusion, and you'll have an opportunity to have a full week off until next Wednesday. There's that bucket right there by Newman was huge, and then Dixon Waters, 2 strong takes, just kind of flexing your muscle, saying, hey, we're the Aztecs here. You guys are coming in from the WAC.
I thought that was a big, strong move by Dixon Waters down the lane to get that bucket, especially off the glass. But back to Heide, you had mentioned Heide who got hurt. You see him right there wearing number 40 in the huddle. Only played 5 minutes in this game before he got hurt, came out. Thought we might see him with a hip contusion injury in the second half, but they decide, probably wasn't feeling well enough, no need to push it. You got a deep bench. You can go to your guys, rely on your guys, and get Heide healthy. There's that good time, that 7 days before the next game. That'll help certainly get Heide healthy again.
Got to inbound this bad boy right here. You have no timeouts left. If it's tied up, the Aztecs have the possession arrow. DeGorville will get it in to Dixon Waters. Back to DeGorville. Ahead it goes to Davis. Davis attacks, and he got fouled as he went up. 36.1 to go, and 2 shots coming for the guy that leads the Mountain West Conference in free throws. B.J. Davis is a perfect 6 for 6 from the line today, making him 26 of 27 at the line, better than 95% to open the season. And he's got another 8-point game. Here's Tay Simmons back in, a career game for the young freshman. Off the bench, a career-high 15. He's 1 rebound away from a career-high 8 rebounds. Matched a career-high with 7. Davis takes care of both of them. 75-66. Utah Valley's 3-game losing streak about to end. They turn it over for an 18th time. And with 23 seconds left, the Aztecs are most likely going to win this one. That they're going to call a foul, which will give the Aztecs 2 more shots on the other end with 21.2 to go. They're going to wind up going to the line at least 28 times. And Brian Dutcher, in his 9th season, is going to pick up another victory. Picked up number 200 in this building against Long Beach State.
Idaho State.
Idaho State in the second game. I was remembering where they gave him the ball against Troy.
Yeah.
That's where he got the ball for the Troy game. Newman to make it an 11-point game. The Aztecs had as big as a 14-point lead in the first half, led by 1 at the break, and have outscored Utah Valley 44-34 in the second half on a 6-0 run here. Here's Hendricks. Kind of surprised Hendricks didn't jack up the 3. Here's Tates. They're letting a lot of time come off the clock. Witherspoon the 4th. No. Time to call off the Dogs, and the Aztecs survive. 59 bench points out of your 77. 18 for Davis to lead the way off the bench. Simmons a career-high 15. Compton had 12, his second double-figure scoring game of the season, and the Aztecs get it done to improve to 4-5 and pick up a quad 3 victory here over a Utah Valley team that may repeat as WAC regular season champs when it's all said and done. Steve and Tammy back with you to wrap it up. A final thought before we get out of here. You had Miles Bird with the flu, and Heide didn't come back after what had happened to him at the end of the first half, going down hard and having the hip contusion. Yeah, well, listen, sometimes, winning ugly is winning the same. When you're in the grind and you're trying to figure things out and trying to get your guys to buy into defense, a win is a win. And this is a San Diego State team that they did the necessary things to pull out the win here. It might not have been as pretty as Dutcher wanted it. Listen, this Utah Valley team is a really good team. They come in here and they're going to obviously do very, very well in their conference play. But the Aztecs grinded it out. They found a way to do it, and that's the important thing here tonight is they needed to rebound from last week, and they certainly did. And this was a